NFTV Extra.
There was a lot of turnover, like you said. It was a bit of a tricky time for the club at the time because it was one of those where the club needed to make changes. It needed to almost restart and refresh. Obviously, before I signed, I heard all the things about what had gone on the season before, some of the performances, what the fans were saying. Obviously, what happened at, I think it was Southampton and Everton. I think it was where there was certain things that had gone on. I can't remember exactly what they were. So I knew that there was probably underlying issues there with certain players in the group. But kind of when I joined and I sat down with Lee and Rafa before I signed, they kind of just said that it's Rafa's team, it's what he wants to do, and we're trusting him to obviously get the club back to the Premier League and build, and it's kind of what he wants to do. So when they said that, and I kind of had full trust in what he wanted to do, and he obviously wanted to bring me into the club for a reason. So when that happens and you sat there and he's saying that to you, you always have to listen, and there was a big turnover, as I said. But the thing is it's a strange one because the players were really, really good. I mean, when I first joined, there was Genie was still there, Musa was still there, and they're great lads. Like, honestly, I'm telling you, they were such good lads, especially with me that just joined. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh wow, when Alden's in the papers going for 25 million, obviously Sissoko's being touted, France international, and they were so good. I was only 21, and they were like, they were such good lads with me when I first joined, helped me settle in really well. And then obviously they left, and then the club has said we started again, if you want to call it that. And he's like you said, me, Matty, Dwight, Clarkey, obviously Grant Hanley as well signed. So they made a lot of signings, and I think the difference is that when you sign a lot of English lads or British lads, I think it makes a difference because, you understand the league, you understand the English game. There's no, real differences in language barrier or understanding of what's needed. So I think that helped us all settle in a lot quicker. And I said is that they're just all really, really good lads. Not even... Obviously, they're all good players, but just as people, all really, really good people. And first and foremost, that was a massive thing, I think, for me, especially because I was younger. I was a lot younger than them, and for me, coming 300 miles away from home, they all were, really, really top set of lads. So I couldn't really complain with them.
No, definitely not. It seemed like a real honest group of people, which is what you need in a football team as well. But talking about Rafa, I'm assuming I've seen you in different interviews, Isaac, talking about how unbelievable he was on the training ground. How did he improve you positionally? And did you have like a 2-hour conversation before you signed for Newcastle, just talking all things like yourself and your position, basically?
Yeah, it was quite funny actually. That was so basically, my agent called me and he said, "Oh, Newcastle are interested. Like, do you want to go and meet Rafa?" And there's the managing director. I was like, "Well, of course." I was like, "Yeah, let's go and see what he's got to say." And I remember I booked a train. I can't remember where it was. I think I was staying at my parents' house at the time. And I said to my parents, "Yeah, I'm going to go meet Rafa." They were like, "Yeah, okay, fine." And I was like, "I'll probably be an hour or so. So I'll book the train back to, back home for this time." I go there, literally 3 hours later, my dad's texting me. He's like, "How did it go?" I was like, "I'm still here." And he's like, "What's he doing with you?" I'm like, "I'll talk to you later." But yeah, it was literally crazy. So there's me sitting there thinking, "Oh, I'm going to be there an hour, quick chat." He was talking to me about everything, like so open, so honest. Like, you could ask him questions, he'd answer them. So we were in the Rosewood Hotel in London, and he got these basically on the table or the boardroom that we were in had like a little bowl full of I can't remember what they called. The mini sweets of like Galaxy Maltesers. Those little. So they were like little party sweets or whatever you want to call them. And then he literally, we were talking about the structure, what he wanted, what he thought my good parts of my game were, what he thought my bad parts were, how he saw me fitting in, etc. And then he just went, right, he goes, "Okay," he goes, "now it's test time." So he got these sweets out and started putting them in a formation. And he was like, right, if I go there, what do you do? And I'm like, you know, when you're panicking, I'm thinking 21, and I'm like, oh, do I get it wrong? I think so. I was like, well, if you went there, I'd kind of have to go here. And then he'd be like, okay, all right. Then he'd be the next question. Then he'd be like, I think he did 5 questions. And he went, well, you got 4 out of 5, so that's very good. But it's like, this one, you didn't do, you need to do this, this. So he's talking me through everything. This was before I even touched pen to paper. Like, I didn't sign nothing. He just was talking to me, you know, as a young player. And then literally, I remember from that moment, I was thinking, like, this is just mental, you know, because growing up, I'm sitting there looking at him on the TV, you know, winning Champions Leagues. And then he's there wanting to speak to me and obviously talking through things with me to improve my game. So I said to my agent then, I said, don't care about any other club. Because I was actually further down the line with a couple of clubs that were interested at the time. I said, don't care about anything else. I have to sign here. Simple. I said, I don't care about the money. I don't care about whatever the deal is. I said, I just need to go there. Because I said, 100% I will be a better player playing under him. And luckily it was done within like, 2-3 days. And then I was like, right, I'm going there. So but I said, we still speak now. I mean, I said it's been a few years now since he's left, and he's a really top manager, top man, top manager. And as I said, hopefully he gets back into football soon, because he's literally a football mad person.